Bringing back Crash Bandicoot ended up being a brilliant move. But will the same be said about Spyro? What's going on, everybody? It's Ghost Robo, and today a big rumor dropped on Kotaku with sources telling them that Sony and Activision are teaming up for another remaster of a beloved PlayStation 1 era franchise. This time it is the Purple People Eater Spyro the Dragon coming at you with a new Trilogy Remastered Edition hitting PlayStation 4 later this year, including the OG Spyro, Ripto's Rage, and Year of the Dragon. It will have improved visuals, new assets, a remastered soundtrack, and other enhancements, including the potential for cut content. It's being worked on by Vicarious Visions, the same people that brought back the Bandicoot and did a bang-up job on that game. It was received super well critically. It was received super well sales-wise. It was received even super well by me, and I didn't think I'd like it. At first blush, this looks like it's channeling the exact same mojo. But, and I want to know your take in the comments down below, I worry it's a very, very different scenario of a very, very similar situation. After all the copies they sold, and after all the rave reviews, and after all the popularity of the Insane trilogy, Activision said they want to do more remasters. And we know Sony is committed to this as well. They brought out Medieval recently. Now we're talking Spyro. Who knows what else they're prepping. And initially, I was worried about Crash even coming back because people wanted it for so long. And I thought, man, this is just a nostalgia drip that eventually is going to catch up to us. And when the game finally launches, it's going to fall flat. Well, thankfully, that didn't happen. I loved it. I had a blast. It was one of my favorite experiences of 2017, and it received sort of universal acclaim. I wish they were just doing more Crash Bandicoot, though. Get this group together, Sony, Activision, Vicarious Visions, and do more Crash. Double down on what worked. Because to me, the reason Crash worked is not because of his fan favorite status, and it's not because of his PlayStation 1 era mascot nature. It's because the core mechanics and the gameplay loop are simple enough that they're effective in the modern era. I remember going to Target and playing Year of the Dragon all the time. I'm sure you guys have a Target game. The one where your mom takes you shopping and you don't want to deal with looking at freaking laundry baskets or pillows. And so you just go to the game kiosk and you play. And for me, in my head, Year of the Dragon was always there. And it was probably only for like a month or something. But I played it so many times and I had so much fun that in my memories, that's my Target game. I feel like in that moment, Spyro was awesome. It was expansive. It was exploratory. Spyro was a cool mascot. You wanted to see all the worlds, see all the dragons. I don't know that any of that crosses over well into 2018. And you might be saying, Ghost, it did for Crash. What are you talking about? Look how well that worked. But again, I think some of the same things that make Crash fun are, when you boil them down, some of the same things that make Mario fun. Some of the same reasons why Celeste is such an awesome indie, absolute gem. It's because jumping around is fun, difficulty and challenge is engaging, and simple mechanics work regardless of era. Spyro is a collectathon. We saw, with varying degrees of success, what happened when collectathons were brought back. Personally, I wasn't really a fan of any of them. I don't think that style of game carries over to modern gaming that great. And there's going to be people that love this just for the nostalgia, that Spyro is their favorite game on PS1, and they just want to play it again. And it'll sell to those people. But I firmly believe that Spyro, or Medieval for that matter, don't sell anywhere near as well as Crash, and instead, we then flip-flop and say remasters aren't good. I hope that they double down on Crash. And I wish that's what they were doing here. But I think, look at Spyro. Look what it tries to do. Look at the gameplay it tried to bite off 20 years ago. We have leveled up that style of gameplay so many times since then. Platforming, sure, it gets prettier. It gets more complicated. But at some fundamental level, platforming is the same. Exploratory games are not the same. And as cool as Spyro looked on the cover of these 3 box arts, I don't even think he's a very cool character for the modern society and especially modern children. He was the lead for Skylanders, but I don't think he was anyone's favorite Skylander. In fact, he was the Skylander that I saw my brother and his friends use the least. He was the quickest to be shifted to the side. And I'm not trying to bash Spyro. Look, I loved Spyro. I had an OG PS1, one of the fat rectangles. I got my Croc. I got my NFL Blitz. Had my freaking Bugs Life. My NHL, whatever it was, 90, 95, 94, 96, I don't know. And I had Spyro. And I had Ripto's Rage. And after tons of time at Target, I had Year of the Dragon. And they were cool. Yooka-Laylee tried to really just grip into our memory bank and pull that into 2017. It did not work for me at all. I think it's cute. I think it's cool that they did it. But that game felt wrong when I played. And it's because we've had so many years of more modern mechanics. And I've heard they've done some patches and things that have made the game better, and that's fine. Maybe it is a better experience. I know a lot of people loved A Hat in Time because it tried to take a more 2017 twist to the collectathon format, and that was received with rave reviews. I personally still found it kind of archaic. And look, it's fine if it's not for me, but the bigger issue here is, are remasters something that we want a lot more of and that are going to succeed? Because Crash Bandicoot was the initial opening of the gates. That he was the one that said, hey, these games are still so much freaking fun and people today will love them. Or rather, did Crash Bandicoot create a mirage that remasters of PlayStation 1 era games actually won't be that great? And even though it's a very similar situation with Spyro in relation to Crash, it's a whole different scenario given the style of game and given their loop of mechanics. I'm curious to know what you think. How do you feel about bringing these games back? I mean, it sounds like they're going to do it. Kotaku seems pretty sure of this. It makes a whole lot of sense. It would be a nice September title for them. Sony's got a kick-butt year already. They don't need anything. But hey, why not throw one more into the ring and come out with knockout after knockout? I just don't think that Spyro is going to be a knockout. I think for some people it'll be fun. And if you just want to go back and see Spyro again, great. You're going to get him all pretty. I'm sure they'll release a trailer, the gameplay. We'll take a look at it. Maybe I'll even get excited. But when you think about bringing back old franchises, I think Crash is the anomaly rather than a standard bearer, rather than a sign of things to come. I think that is the one case where it worked super well, and they should just run with that. Look, old franchises do find success. That's not a rarity. But I feel like this specific era is a really dicey one to pull from. And maybe it'll be so dolled up and so enhanced and so cool to see that guy running around again that we'll just love it. But I think you've got gameplay concerns. I think you've got mechanic concerns. And I think you've got Spyro concerns because he's been brought back. Yeah, Crash was also in Skylanders, but Spyro has been around for years in that franchise. It's not like he's been unseen. He hasn't been spotted in his traditional gameplay genre, but what I'm trying to say is I don't think that genre works anymore. Let me know your take in the comments down below. Very curious to hear what you all have to say about it. Thanks so much for watching. I'll link to the Kotaku article in the description, and you guys can have at it. Until that time, everybody, thanks so much for watching. Fantastic day. I love you all. Drink some hot chocolate. Tell me your target game, and we will see you all later.